everyone, welcome back to the Avocado Toast Budget, where we are teaching Millennials and Gen Zers how to survive capitalism. Today we are talking about ways to stay motivated whenever you are paying off debt. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about saving money, investing, paying off debt, and how to finally feel confident with your money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. You can also push that little bell notification. It notifies you every single time that I upload. And please remember to give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm and helps boost this video to the top. So let's get started. Number one, give yourself fun money. Whenever you are trying to pay off debt, I really think that this is one of the most important things that you can do to make your budget and debt payoff sustainable. The reality of it is that if you don't give yourself any fun money, if you try to throw everything that you have towards debt, you're gonna end up getting burnt out. It's not gonna be fun anymore. Once that honeymoon stage of budgeting wears off, you're not gonna wanna stick with it. So if you are really looking to stick with budgeting, to pay off debt in the long term so that you can finally be debt-free and just take a big breath and sigh out all the stress about your finances, I really think that it is important for you to give yourself a little bit of money. It doesn't have to be a ton every single month that you know that you can do whatever you want with it. You can spend it on whatever is bringing you joy at the time. I hear so often that people really stress out about budgeting and finances, and they often have this mentality that they shouldn't be spending money on themselves. And one of the biggest ways to overcome this is to just dedicate yourself to setting 10 to 20 bucks aside every month to make sure that you have money to spend on whatever you want. Don't put that money toward anything else. Don't allocate it towards savings if you don't spend it. Just roll it over to the next month. That way you always have a little bit of money there to feel free to spend it on what you want without feeling that guilt behind it. It can feel like whenever you're paying off debt that you need to put every single penny that you have toward that debt, but I promise you, you are going to pay off so much more if you stick to it, and one of the best ways to do that is to make sure that you don't get burnt out and you give yourself some fun money. Number two is to utilize visual trackers. This can be for debt payoff, for savings. I absolutely love visual trackers. Visual trackers give you an awesome way to visualize your debt payoff. It's so fun and is really motivating to be able to come back and color in a little part of your visual tracker whenever you pay off a little bit more debt or you save a little bit more towards your goal. And it can be an awesome way to remind yourself of how far you've come, because especially with some of those bigger debt goals, it can feel like you have so far to go, but it's really important to remember where you started and where you started off at, and visual trackers are an awesome way to do this. If you're looking for some free ones, I have a link in my bio down below to access all of the ATB's free visual trackers. There's a financial guide in there as well, which I talk about in this video here. If you are new to budgeting and you have no idea where to start, this is a really good place to start. Number three is to make changes to your budget and your budget categories incrementally. Going and looking at your budget category and looking at the fact that you spend $1,000 on groceries every month and thinking that in 1 month you're gonna cut that in half, Oliver. And thinking that in 1 month you're gonna be able to slash that in half is not realistic. What is probably going to happen is that you're just gonna feel burnt out, you're gonna feel discouraged, because chances are you're gonna overspend in that category. You're not used to spending half the amount that you have been in the past. So that's gonna make you feel like you're not good at budgeting and budgeting isn't for you, when the reality of it is that you just need to make sure that you are being realistic with the goals that you are setting in your budget. So instead, make goals that are realistic for you and try to cut back a little bit at a time. Every month, set a goal that you're gonna cut back $10, $20 from those bigger categories, those ones that you feel like you could kind of rein in that spending a little bit. And then over the long term, that is going to make a huge difference. And you're gonna end up saving a lot more money if you stick to budgeting and you stick to slowly decreasing those categories, rather than if you slashed it in half 1 month, overspent on it anyway, and then felt like budgeting wasn't for you and just gave up. Number four is to participate in savings challenges. I am a huge fan of savings challenges, and they can be used both for savings goals, but also for debt payoff goals. This is an awesome way to make budgeting exciting and fun and not feel so stressful. A lot of times savings goals give you small little goals that add up to the bigger amounts over time. So it's a really awesome way to not put a lot of stress into saving, but then to be able to look back over a period of 6 months, a year, and see how much you've saved just by participating in one of these savings challenges. If you're an all-cash spender, a fun savings challenge for you to try out is the $5 challenge. So anytime that you come across a $5 bill, you're not going to spend it, you're just going to set it aside, and then over the course of 6 months or a year, you can look back and see how much that you saved just by setting aside $5 at a time. Nothing big, it really adds up. If you're not an all-cash spender and you feel like you never have any cash on you, trust me, I know how you feel, neither do I. And there are still awesome savings challenges that you can participate in. Link down below, I have a savings printable that works if you are a cash spender or if you never carry cash. It is called the 52-week spending challenge. One of them has a goal of $5,000 in a year, but don't worry if that seems like way too much. There is also one that is more open-ended where you get to make the goal. Then, once you have all that money, you can decide what you want it to do for you. If you're saving for a specific goal, or if you want to put that money toward debt. This is a great way to keep you motivated, and it keeps you coming back to your budget every single week. Number 5 is to open up a savings account with Yada High Yield Savings. This is my favorite high yield savings account, and there is a reason that I think it is awesome to kind of re-motivate you in your debt payoff journey. Yada is based off of a raffle system, and the more that you save, the more raffle tickets that you get, which means the more money that you could earn back. You have a chance to win money every single week, and every day they pull a new number, so it keeps you coming back and excited to see if you had any matches and if you're winning any money. I think that this is an awesome way if you're kind of feeling in a rut, especially with saving or paying off debt, to motivate yourself to save more money. That way you can get more raffle tickets and you can start earning more money as well. It's not gambling, there's no risk to your investment. All it is a high yield savings account that the percentage is based on a raffle system. So that really motivates you to save more money. That way you have a higher chance of making more money. Number 6 is to find a budget and debt payoff friend. Let's be honest here, budgeting is not always the easiest thing. There are going to be hiccups, there are going to be bumps in the road. And I think that it's really important to have someone who understands that and who you can talk with, talk things out, and someone who can empathize with what you were going through on your debt-free journey. If you have someone close to you who is on a similar journey, has similar savings or debt payoff goals, this can really help give you some motivation and someone to talk to whenever you're kind of feeling burnt out. If you are looking for people who are also going through similar things, the ATB has a Facebook group dedicated to all things money, to being able to connect with people anywhere in the world who understand what you were going through when you were trying to pay off debt, save, and learn about personal finance. So if you want to join that group, I have the link down below. Okay, everyone, that is it. Those are my top 6 ways to keep yourself motivated whenever you are paying off debt. If you found this helpful, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. If you hit that bell notification as well, you'll get notified every single time that we upload. That way you can continue to learn how to save, pay off debt, invest, and finally feel confident with your money. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.